Emerging from the dust, ancient artifacts tell tales of conquest and sacrifice.
They really collected the blood into these cups.
Sifting through remnants of the past, science finds a roadmap to lost civilizations and the origins of humanity itself.
This is a crux moment in the history of Western civilization.
In some of the most remote places on Earth, explorers risk life and limb for a glimpse into forgotten history.
I've never ever seen gold like that underwater.
Join us as we unravel the stories behind the ultimate 10 archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. For centuries, archaeologists have been sifting through the sands of time to discover the world as it existed ages ago.
One of the characteristics of early civilization is its extreme volatility. You find states coming up, flourishing for several hundred years, and then suddenly they vanish like that, they're gone. The question is why?
From the scorching Sahara to the steamy jungles of Central America, explorers have pried treasures from the iron grip of history. Driven by curiosity and aided by technology, 20th century archaeologists breathed life into long-dead civilizations with a series of discoveries that electrified the world. Kicking off our countdown, the bloodlust of a mythical god is made mortal with the discovery of a gilded tomb. Scattered along the coast of northern Peru are the ghostly remains of a mysterious civilization. Between 100 and 750 AD, 600 years before the Inca, the Moche were building pyramids as large as those in Egypt.
The great mystery of the Moche is the fact that they were such a sophisticated civilization, and at the same time, nothing is known about them.
The Moche never developed a system of writing, so all archaeologists had to study were crumbling ruins and clay pots, some depicting images of savage sacrifice.
There were scenes of a lord sitting on a pyramid, drinking human blood, and prisoners of war are being paraded in front of him and then decapitated and dismembered.
Archaeologists believe the fanged figures depicted in their art were gods whose goodwill fed on a river of blood.
It was hotly debated what these scenes were actually representing, whether this was mythology being portrayed on the sides of this pottery.
Police settled the debate in 1987 with a raid at a Moche pyramid near the village of Sipan. They arrested looters who had plundered dozens of gold artifacts. The confiscated cash was turned over to archaeologists for examination. A team immediately started digging into the pyramid and within weeks uncovered the burial of a Moche lord. Covered in gold, the king was surrounded in death by the skeletons of 9 concubines.
Archaeologists had found remnants of this culture, but we knew so little about them. And suddenly, almost overnight, these tombs were found.
It was the richest tomb ever discovered in the Americas.
There weren't, 15, 20 artifacts. There were hundreds. The Lord was dressed head to foot in gold and silver.
Yet for science, the most valuable find would be the link archaeologists made to the barbaric images on the Moche pottery. A gold scepter in the Lord's right hand matched the one held by the figures shown consuming the blood of the sacrificed.
It was almost like a revelation, because they were able to identify the actual individuals in these sacrifice scenes as being the individuals buried in the tomb.
The evidence suggested the Moche were ruled by warrior priests. But archaeologists needed more proof. In 1992, Dr. Steve Bourget went looking for it at a massive temple complex south of Sipan.
The Temple of the Moon, or as we call it in Peru, the Huaca de la Luna, and the Temple of the Sun, the Huaca del Sol, are probably the two most important temples or monumental buildings of the Moche.
In an ancient courtyard at the Temple of the Moon, Bourget unearthed the skeletons of 70 men. Knife and axe marks on the bones told an agonizing story. The victims were most often warriors captured in battle. Stripped of their weapons and clothing, they were paraded before the Moche Lord.
The victims found their way into this sacrificial plaza where they were sacrificed. After that, the same priest or other people came back and started cutting part of the body of these victims, the throat, the neck, the arms, and so forth.
Bourget tested a pair of goblets found in the Lord's tomb, goblets similar in shape to those depicted in their gruesome art.
In both cases, we found, in fact, human blood as the residue inside these cups. They really collected the blood into these cups.
The discovery of the Lord's tomb was a watershed moment in science's understanding of the Moche, something all too rare in the field of archaeology.
One always hopes that when you find a tomb that you might find a king or a person that is referred to in a text or on a ceramic, but you never find them. So it was pretty amazing.
For its insight into a mysterious people whose beliefs led to murder, the tomb of Sipan carves its way in at number 10.